Welcome to the Vitality Equation, exploring research in health and well-being one paper at a time. I'm excited about today's topic. We're diving into something that I think has huge implications for how we approach health, both individually and on a global scale: the impact of personalized sleep and circadian rhythm interventions on environmental sustainability using a global systems approach. It's a mouthful, I know, but stick with us.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds complex, but when you break it down, it's about how our individual sleep patterns, when scaled up, can actually affect the planet. It's a fascinating intersection of personal health and environmental responsibility.
Exactly. And it's not just about the planet, but also about optimizing our own health. We're talking about personalized approaches, so what works for me might not work for you. It's about understanding our unique needs and how those needs impact the bigger picture. And hello, listeners.
So, where do we even begin? I think the core idea is that our modern lifestyle, with its artificial lighting, irregular schedules, and constant connectivity, has really messed with our natural circadian rhythms. This has cascading effects, not just on our sleep quality, but also on our energy consumption, our productivity, and even our food choices.
Right, think about it. When you're sleep deprived, you're more likely to reach for sugary snacks and caffeine, which not only affects your health but also drives up demand for those products, impacting supply chains and environmental resources.
Mm-hmm. And let's not forget the energy it takes to keep the lights on late, to power all those screens, and to manufacture all those processed foods. It's a vicious cycle. We're sacrificing our sleep for convenience, and that convenience comes at a cost.
Exactly. The always on culture is the problem. And it is interesting to hear how adipose tissue is impacted by more than diet. This makes me realize that consistent lifestyle practices like mindful movement, mindful eating, and meditation, rather than just one off changes, could offer much more lasting impact on managing fatty acid levels compared to quick fixes. That is a great idea when thinking about this topic.
Yes, I would say that it reinforces the importance of understanding the interconnectedness of biological processes and psychological well-being. This connection implies that CBT techniques could be even more effective when informed by biological markers and individual predispositions.
Yes, and that's exactly what I have been thinking. The idea that exercise and sleep can potentially alter genetic regulation of fat storage is incredibly empowering. It's like having a deeper level of control over my body's response to these important factors, a tangible link between lifestyle and cellular processes. And I have been thinking about how sleep impacts gene expression related to fatty acid metabolism, suggests new avenues for optimizing exercise routines. If sleep quality directly affects the genetic response to exercise, then prioritizing sleep becomes even more critical for long-term health.
Absolutely. And this is where personalized interventions come in. It's not about prescribing the same 8 hours of sleep for everyone. It's about understanding individual chronotypes, sleep needs, and lifestyle factors, and then tailoring strategies to optimize their sleep-wake cycles.
And that's where I think we can really make a difference, because I think one of the biggest challenges is awareness. People often underestimate the impact of sleep on their overall health and well-being, and they don't realize that small changes can have a significant impact.
Totally. And it's not just about the quantity of sleep, but also the quality. Are you getting enough deep sleep? Are you waking up feeling refreshed? There are so many factors at play.
Exactly. And this is where cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia CBT can be incredibly helpful. It teaches people how to identify and change negative thoughts and behaviors that are interfering with their sleep.
Yes, and things like mindfulness meditation can also be really effective for reducing stress and promoting relaxation, which can lead to better sleep. There are so many tools we can use to help people tune into their bodies and understand their own unique sleep needs. Like, I was reading about the genetic regulation of fatty acid content in adipose tissue. Could that be influencing our mental perceptions of body image? That's really interesting.
And I think exercise plays a crucial role too. Regular physical activity can improve sleep quality, but it's important to find the right balance. Overtraining can actually disrupt sleep, so it's about finding what works for your body.
Yeah, and the timing of exercise can also be important. Some studies suggest that exercising in the morning can be more beneficial for sleep than exercising in the evening. It really depends on the individual.
And let's not forget the importance of light exposure. Getting enough natural light during the day, especially in the morning, can help regulate your circadian rhythm. And avoiding blue light from screens in the evening can also make a big difference.
Definitely. I've noticed a huge difference in my sleep quality since I started using blue light filters on my devices in the evening. It's such a simple change, but it makes a big difference.
Right. And beyond the individual level, we need to think about how we can create more sleep-friendly environments in our communities. This could mean things like promoting flexible work schedules, reducing noise pollution, and creating more green spaces where people can relax and connect with nature.
Absolutely. And it also means educating people about the importance of sleep and empowering them to make healthy choices. We need to shift the cultural narrative around sleep. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity.
And from a sustainability perspective, optimizing sleep can have a significant impact on energy consumption. When people are well rested, they're less likely to rely on energy intensive coping mechanisms like excessive caffeine and late night screen time.
Plus, optimizing sleep can improve productivity and reduce absenteeism, which can boost economic output and reduce resource consumption. It's a win-win situation.
Yes, I'm wondering if mindful eating practices can influence the genetic expression of fatty acid content in adipose tissue. Could focusing on the sensations of eating and the body's response actually shift these genetic patterns over time? Maybe even through meditation or other mindful exercises. The implications are really staggering when you start thinking about it.
It is. And it opens a new avenue for understanding how our minds perceive and react to body changes. It implies that our cognitive biases might be deeply rooted in biological factors, which could shape how we approach and manage our health.
Right, and I think what is important to consider is if specific exercise regimens can influence the genetic expression of fatty acid metabolism in adipose tissue. If so, could targeted workouts potentially combined with sleep optimization lead to more favorable genetic profiles for fat storage and utilization?
That's fascinating. It's like, could we almost program our bodies through consistent sleep and exercise? The research is definitely pointing in that direction.
I was just reading about a study that looked at shift workers and their increased risk of metabolic disorders. They found that even short-term sleep deprivation can significantly alter gene expression related to glucose metabolism. It's pretty scary.
Oh, wow. That's a great example of how disrupting our natural rhythms can have real tangible effects on our biology. So, how do we translate all this research into practical advice that people can use?
Well, I think the first step is to raise awareness. People need to understand that sleep is not optional. It's fundamental to our health and well-being. I think teaching CBTI techniques more broadly would be a great start.
And I think we need to promote personalized approaches. What works for one person might not work for another. It's about finding what works for your body and your lifestyle.
I agree. And I think it's important to emphasize that small changes can make a big difference. You don't have to completely overhaul your life overnight. Start with one or two small changes, like going to bed 30 minutes earlier or spending 15 minutes meditating each day.
Exactly. And be patient with yourself. It takes time to establish new habits. Don't get discouraged if you have a bad night's sleep. Just keep practicing.
And don't be afraid to seek professional help if you're struggling with chronic sleep problems. A sleep specialist can help you identify the underlying causes of your sleep issues and develop a personalized treatment plan.
Yes, I think so. I learned about the research on sex disparities in gastric cancer as a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of mind, body, and environment. It opens my eyes to a whole new approach to preventing this disease, a holistic lifestyle approach that combines stress reduction, mindful eating, and possibly specific dietary supplements.
Yes, I agree. This is where I recognize the need for a comprehensive approach to preventative care, incorporating not only lifestyle changes, but also tailored cognitive interventions that address the unique psychological landscape of risk in these populations. This aligns closely with my perspective on optimizing health through mental restructuring.
I agree as well. Learning about the correlation between sleep duration, exercise, and gastric cancer tumor mutation burden has me thinking about potential personalized training regimens and optimized sleep schedules. Developing these approaches for different individuals seems like a key area for future study. I think we must combine sleep and lifestyle changes to prevent this.
And let's talk about the global systems aspect. When we prioritize sleep and circadian health, we're not just benefiting ourselves, we're also contributing to a more sustainable future.
Right. We're reducing our energy consumption, we're supporting healthier food systems, and we're creating more resilient communities.
And we're fostering a culture of well being where people are empowered to prioritize their health and make choices that are good for themselves and for the planet.
So, what are some specific research directions that you think are particularly promising in this area?
Well, from my perspective, I'm really interested in exploring the potential of mindfulness based interventions for improving sleep and reducing stress. I think there's a lot of potential for developing personalized meditation programs that are tailored to individual sleep needs and circadian rhythms. Also, how we can use meditation along with specific dietary recommendations be tailored to address the unique needs and concerns of men and women regarding gastric cancer risk.
I agree. I think understanding the cognitive processes that contribute to sleep problems is crucial. Can we identify specific cognitive biases or thought patterns that are interfering with sleep? And can we develop targeted CBT interventions to address those issues? Maybe how the different mutation patterns in gastric cancer between sexes are linked to variations in cognitive function or stress response pathways, potentially influencing cell repair mechanisms or susceptibility to tumor development. CBT might play a role in stress management in these populations.
And from an exercise perspective, I'm really interested in exploring the optimal timing and intensity of exercise for improving sleep quality. Can we develop personalized exercise regimens that are tailored to individual chronotypes and sleep needs? And how can we use wearable technology to track sleep and exercise patterns and provide real-time feedback to help people optimize their routines? Also, I would be interested to discover if there's a correlation between exercise intensity and sleep quality in relation to reducing risk of gastric cancer.
Those are all great points. I think it's clear that this is a really complex and multifaceted area, but the potential for improving both individual and planetary health is enormous.
Absolutely. And I think the more we can understand the interplay between sleep, circadian rhythms, and environmental sustainability, the better equipped we'll be to create a healthier and more sustainable future for all.
Yeah, exactly. I think that in the end, it is all about improving the ability for an individual to improve their lifestyle so they improve gene mutation patterns. So if we can improve one's sleep, exercise, or mindfulness, we can create a healthy environment for all.
Well, that about wraps up our discussion for today. Thanks for joining us on the Vitality Equation. We hope you found this conversation informative and inspiring. Until next time, prioritize your sleep, take care of your circadian rhythms, and be mindful of your impact on the planet.
Yes, thanks everyone. Remember to explore new CBT techniques and reorganize the way you think. It might just change your life. See you all next time.
And keep moving and resting. Remember that you are more resilient than you think. We'll see you next time.